What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Uber Cooled Garage. In this week's episode, we're gonna continue working on the ghia, getting it way nicer than it has been. Starting to finish it up. I am going to finish a lot of it and make a final video of it before I pull it apart. Be kind of a fancy video, and I might even throw in, pictures and stuff from the time I actually first got the car. So, might do a whole thing on that, kind of like I did with the very first video of the bug, if you guys have seen it. If not, go back and check it out. It's pretty cool to see where this thing actually came from and what it kind of started as. So we'll hop right into the ghia and hope you guys enjoy. The next project on the ghia is the rear seat. As you can see, the bottom of this one is just completely destroyed. So I'm gonna end up cutting new plywood and putting blocks all the way around it to raise the seat up a little bit. That way it clears the battery and clears the shift linkage. So we will start digging into this and get rid of all this grody stuff. The foam pad underneath looks okay, and actually all of the fabric on top is still really nice. That's why I am just redoing the wood rather than buying a new seat or redoing the whole entire thing. So here's the wood. You can see that it just seriously fell apart as soon as I got it. So I'm gonna cut a new sheet and start building a new platform for all of this, and we'll just continue to get the seat ready. So first test fit was a success. I needed about a half a 2x4, so about an inch and 3/4 or so to raise up. So now the shift linkage back there clears. It's nice and tall. Everything sits nice and good. It's in there nice and snug. So now I can cover up I'm gonna cover up the bottom, and then I'll wrap the top again. So, and you can see that I didn't notch out the center. That way it's all one piece. Definitely a lot stronger than what was there before, that just completely disintegrated. So I like how this is turning out. So let's get to wrapping it. Did the underside in felt. It turned out really nice. Of course, it's got a whole bunch of sawdust in it, but that'll very, very easily vacuum up. If you guys are wondering, I did a few years ago work at a custom upholstery shop. I pretty much did classic cars and a couple other little things like that, but that's kind of where I learned how to do all of the interior stuff, laying carpet, doing custom door panels, doing custom headliners, stuff like that. So I picked up quite a bit of tips and tricks from my old boss. So let's put the top on this and get it all stapled in and see how it turns out. Alright, so now that is a back seat. It's all nice and tight. Everything turned out really, really nice. It looks factory. You can't even tell that it's that it has been raised up an inch, about 1 3/4 inches. Actually, probably 2 inch with the plywood. But it looks really, really good. It's nice and tight and firm, like a brand new seat. Let me see. And then, when you raise it up, it's all nice and clean underneath. It's all fabric and everything, so this turned out fantastic. It locks into place so it doesn't move. It doesn't move at all, so works really, really good. Love how that turned out. So now I just got to go pick up fabric for the door panels, cut out the fronts, and fix my mirror, because the mirror snapped off on my way to the meet. So I gotta fix the mirror, and the interior just needs a little tiny bit of touch-up paint here and there, and it should be pretty much done. Got the front door panels out of the ghia. We're gonna pull the fabric off of these, and flip it over. As you can see, the underside is really gross and rotten, and they are super warped, and the entire bottom of these is just completely rotted out, falling apart. So I am going to remake that panel. I'm still trying to decide whether I'm going to keep the red to match the headliner or just switch it all back over to standard black. There probably won't be any pattern in it. Just because I don't really feel like busting out the sewing machine and sewing in some fancy pattern or anything like that. So I'm still trying to figure that out, but in the meantime I will get new cards made for both of them, and then we'll wrap all 4 of them all together, make sure they're all nice and good. Still, I don't know if I'm gonna order more clips or if I'm just gonna do every other one, do nutserts into the door, and then run some nice stainless Actually, just some stainless Allen heads with some washers. So I might do that, or I might order more clips, or see if I have more clips. I actually might have more clips. So we'll get to pulling these apart and start cutting out some start cutting out new door cards. So now you can kind of see how messed up they are. That one's got a big old slice out of it, and seriously, they just like fall apart. All of it just crumples. The bottom is super gone, so you can see why I had the screws in the bottom that I showed you, I think from the last video. If not, it's on this video. But I can't put clips in the bottom of either of these doors because they're just so far gone. So I will take the new sheet of masonite and cut new ones, and then we will move on to the next step. I still got to punch a couple holes in the rear quarter panels. Went and picked up some padding and some new fabric. So just regular standard black. I figured this would be easier. It was relatively cheap. So I still have to cut out both of these, and then I'll glue on the padding, and then start stretching and heating this stuff up, getting rid of any of the wrinkles or anything like that. So we will get these cut out and then start making some panels. First, gotta drill some holes for these. So let's get right into it. Alright, so what I did here was took the template that I had originally cut out, put it back in the car, and punched holes where the existing stuff was. So that is not a hole. I have a punched hole here, here, there, and there. So those are all original holes where they were. So now I can mark the actual pieces, drill some holes in those. And those should line up, and then we will wrap the rear ones in fabric real quick, and then we'll get to cutting those ones out. Alright, so I got one panel done. You can see kind of down here that there's a crease in it.
I'm gonna do a couple heat cycles on that, and that will heat up the fabric and let it expand, and then it'll shrink back down. So let's see if we can do kind of like the other YouTube guys and snap my fingers and see if I can get the other piece done. All right, I can't believe that worked. So you can see there's a crease in this one and a crease over here in this one as well. So that one will get heat cycled too. So we'll get both of these heat cycled, and then we'll get them installed in the car.
Okay guys, so that's all I have for you this week, unfortunately. Ended up being pretty busy at work this week. On next week's episode, we'll get those door panels finished up, get everything installed, maybe do some touch-up paint on the inside of the car, and then I have a couple more little things inside the car that I have to do. And I also have to touch up paint on the outside, so there's a couple spots that I have to fix. But other than that, it's getting pretty close. Maybe shoot for next week, maybe do a video on the whole thing. If not, maybe the week after, depending on my work schedule and how busy I get. So we will see you guys on the next one. Peace out, guys.